You ever feel like your mind is working against you? Like there's a storm inside your head, you're overwhelmed, anxious, second-guessing every move, while on the outside you're expected to look calm, productive, and control? It's a common feeling in today's world. But here's the truth. People have felt this way for over 2,000 years. And some of the greatest minds to ever live found a way through the chaos, not by escaping it but by mastering themselves within it. What if the answer to emotional strength and clarity wasn't a new app or hack, but an ancient path walked by emperors, soldiers, psychologists, and modern thinkers alike? Jordan Peterson teaches that our minds crave structure, a way to organize our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Ryan Holiday reminds us that the Stoics didn't just study wisdom, they lived it. They practiced it daily. Today you're going to learn how to live like a Stoic sage. Not just read quotes from Marcus Aurelius or nod at Epictetus, but actually apply this ancient wisdom to your modern life, to build emotional mastery, mental toughness, and a sense of purpose that doesn't disappear when life gets hard. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming steady. Because the Stoic sage isn't some distant figure in a dusty book. It's the part of you that's still calm in the storm, clear in confusion, and strong when everything around you says to break. You already have that in you. Let's bring it to the surface. There's a version of you that doesn't panic under pressure. A version that doesn't spiral when plans fall apart or people disappoint you. That version exists, and it's not a fantasy. It's the sage within. The ancient Stoics believed in an ideal, someone who had mastered their thoughts, their emotions, and their reactions. They called this person the Stoic sage. Not perfect, just unshakable, grounded, focused on what they can control and at peace with what they can't. Modern psychology has a name for this kind of resilience. Angela Duckworth calls it grit, passion, and perseverance for long-term goals. It's not about talent or luck. It's about showing up again and again even when it hurts. Viktor Frankl lived this truth in the most brutal conditions imaginable. A psychiatrist imprisoned in Auschwitz, he lost his family, his freedom, everything. But in the middle of that nightmare he found his strength. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, he wrote, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Frankl survived because he refused to surrender his mind. He chose purpose over despair. That is Stoicism in action. And then there's David Goggins. Abused, overweight, and failing in life, he decided he was done being weak. He trained until his legs bled. Ran hundreds of miles, became a Navy SEAL against all odds. His body broke, but his will didn't. You are in danger of living a life so comfortable and soft that you will die without ever realizing your true potential, he says. What Goggins, Frankl, and Duckworth teach us, each in their own way, is this: mental toughness isn't born, it's built. And the Stoics were laying those bricks centuries ago. Jordan Peterson explains it like this: we all have dragons inside. Fear, pain, chaos. The Stoic sage doesn't pretend the dragons aren't real. They train to face them. With logic, with virtue, with discipline. You don't need to be a Navy SEAL or survive a concentration camp to start this path. You just need to stop running from discomfort. Stop reacting like a leaf in the wind. Start building your inner fortress. Every time you pause instead of explode, choose focus over distraction, purpose over comfort, you lay another brick. And eventually that version of you, the calm one, the strong one, it stops being a dream. It becomes your new normal. If your mind ever feels like a mess of thoughts, emotions, and fears, you're not broken. You're human. But what if there was a map inside you, a blueprint designed to help you navigate that inner chaos? The Stoics believed there was. They called it the logos, a kind of divine reason that runs through everything. The universe. Nature. Understanding this logos wasn't just philosophy, it was the key to freedom. Ryan Holiday explains it like this: you can't control the world, but you can control how you respond. And that response? That's your power. That's the Stoic idea. When you align with logos, you don't fight reality, you work with it. Carl Jung had a different word for this: integration. He believed we all have a shadow, a part of us that holds our fear, rage, shame. But the path to wholeness isn't pretending the shadow isn't there. It's facing it, understanding it, and letting it teach us. Jung wasn't a Stoic, but his teachings echo the same truth. Real strength comes from self-knowledge. And let's be clear, self-knowledge is not soft. Brené Brown, a research professor and best-selling author, spent years studying vulnerability and courage. She discovered that people who master their emotions don't avoid them. They lean in. They name their emotions. They set boundaries. They stand up when it's uncomfortable. Vulnerability is not winning or losing, she says. It's having the courage to show up when you can't control the outcome. That's Stoicism in the modern world. Robin Sharma, author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, adds a practical twist. Clarity precedes mastery. If you want to lead yourself, your family, your goals, you have to know where you're standing. And you can't do that if you're always reacting, distracted, or blaming the world for your chaos. The Logos calls you to do something radical in today's culture. Slow down, get quiet, and listen. Because emotional mastery doesn't begin with emotion. It begins with truth. With understanding how your thoughts work. How your fear speaks. How your mind tricks you and how it can guide you when trained. The Stoics saw logic not as cold intellect, but as the tool that shapes wise action. The Logos isn't out there. It's in you. Right now. So ask yourself, what if the chaos you feel is just a signal? What if, beneath the noise, there's an order waiting to be heard? And what if listening to that order could change everything? You've faced your chaos. You've started to listen to the order beneath the noise. Now comes the hardest part, action. Because knowing the truth is only the beginning. The Stoics taught that the final goal of all knowledge, of all logic, of all clarity, is virtue. And what is virtue? Not a moral checklist. Not perfection. Virtue is doing the right thing for the right reason, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." And here's the twist. Virtue isn't something you hope for. Something you train. Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL and leadership coach, lives this. Every day he wakes at 4:30 a.m. Not because it's fun. Not for likes. But because discipline equals freedom. When chaos hits, he's already prepared. You must own everything in your world, he says. There is no one else to blame. That's Stoicism in its rawest form. Now picture Serena Williams. For over 2 decades she trained with intensity, grace, and purpose. Injuries, losses, criticism, none of it broke her. She returned every time stronger. She didn't react. She responded. She didn't chase perfection. She practiced excellence. That's what Stoic virtue looks like in real life. Consistency over hype. Clarity over drama. And then you have Tom Brady. 7-time Super Bowl champion. Same diet, same sleep schedule, same mental focus for 20 years. He outlasted younger, stronger players because he chose to master himself daily. You can't go out and expect to perform well when you haven't put in the work, he said. This is the final step in the Stoic path. Self-command. The ability to take what you know and live it. Jordan Peterson often reminds us, action is where meaning is forged. You don't think your way into purpose. You walk into it. With courage. With repetition. With ownership. You don't have to be a soldier, a tennis legend, or a football star. You just have to stop waiting for the right moment and start doing what you already know is right. Virtue doesn't need an audience. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It begins in silence, in small daily choices, and grows stronger every time you act with intention. So ask yourself, what would happen if today, just today, you lived as if you were already that person you want to become? Because the truth is, you already are. You just need to choose it. Again and again. If you've come this far, then something inside you already knew. There's more to you than distraction, reaction, and noise. You've seen what it means to build an inner fortress. How David Goggins, Viktor Frankl, and Angela Duckworth proved that mental strength is earned, not given. You've learned how to listen for the logos, the quiet logic beneath the chaos, through the lens of Jung, the courage of Brené Brown, and the clarity taught by Robin Sharma. And you've witnessed what happens when that wisdom becomes action, through Jocko's discipline, Serena's relentless focus, and Tom Brady's total ownership of his craft. This is the path of the Stoic sage. Not a philosopher in a robe. Not a cold, emotionless statue. A warrior of the mind. Someone who knows the world can shake and still chooses to stand tall. Who doesn't wait for motivation, but moves with meaning. Who wakes up every day not trying to be perfect, but committed to being true. So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, Act as if you are already that version of yourself. Respond, don't react. Choose virtue over comfort. Focus on what you can control, and release what you can't. Live with clarity. Move with purpose. And if this message spoke to you, if you felt something shift even a little, then join us. Hit like, subscribe, share this with someone you care about. Not because it's trendy, but because the world needs more people like you, awake, aware, and walking with intention. Your sage is already in there. Time to let them lead. Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.